Before we start this podcast, I would like to announce that the quality for episode 1 will be substantially worse than the other ones as we are still trying to get a hold of this thing, so please bear with us. And for any mentions of names that I use, I will cover it up with a clip that I'll be showing right here,
I am the real deal.
just to protect certain people's likenesses. Thank you, and hopefully you enjoy. Welcome to the Real Deal podcast. I am your host, Ryan Reviews Retro, and I am joined here today with...
You've got Mofaro on the mic. Mofaro Nyavenze. Local tech enthusiast, and what else do I do? Co-host on the podcast, I guess.
Mufaro.
And sorry.
Continue.
And Nathan Dyke, local university student, just out here trying to make it.
All right. Well, that's great. Mufaro, how many things do you have in your room right now?
About 5, I guess.
About 5 things in your whole room. That should explain.
Yeah.
That explains a lot about his character.
Come on.
All right, and I'm the host. If you know my YouTube channel is Random Views Retro. Obviously, I do speedruns, make some comedy videos with my editor and producer, Recon Malfunction. You will see him very soon on here. But the topic for today is Thompson, Manitoba. So, Mufaro, I know you wanted to talk about this, so how about you lead us off with something?
On Thompson? On this podcast, we're just planning to discuss ideas on small towns. That's one. And also talking about more ideas on what we'll be doing on the next 10 episodes. Ryan, take it over.
Like you said, you only want 10 episodes, but I'm not sure how 10 episodes equals one season.
Yeah, one season. Yeah, 10 episodes, one season.
Wow.
See how it goes.
How is that panning out? I
Um,
feel like that's not panning out very great for you there. Like, how is that going to play out? 10 episodes.
Okay, between maybe 5 or so, 5 to 10. See how it goes.
All right. Okay.
I don't know,
Okay.
because I believe we have the next 3 panned out, or the next 3 episodes planned out, with one guest confirmed. But that's for now.
Alright. There are 2 on, I don't know, modern music. There's
Okay. Whoa. Settle down. Thompson, Manitoba.
Alright, let's go.
All right.
Really garbage little town. Grew up there. Born and raised. It's seen better days. Thompson nowadays is just, it's falling apart. The main income source of Thompson is its nickel, and that used to be Inco, but now owned by Vale. And, Vale's not doing a very good job of keeping up, the city of Thompson and even its own mine. That's just my opinion. Everyone else can see it, whether or not they feel the same way. That's a different thing. But, it'd be great if they could help out in the community a little bit more. They did fund lots of stuff in Thompson, but as I said, Thompson is falling apart. Mall, pretty trash. It's not. I wouldn't even call it a mall. It's more just a small grouping of stores, which I guess is considered a mall. But, the definition of the word is so skewed up in the north that one would just never consider it a mall. If you've been to any other place in the world, you do not come to Thompson and say, "Oh, look at that! That must be the great city center mall." And just while we're on that, is there any places in Thompson that you guys think are just completely recognizable and just very specific and unique to our town?
Definitely quite a few. Crazy Pete's obviously comes to mind because he's fucking crazy. Not sure how long that place has been there. Probably, definitely over 20 years. It's run by him and his brother. It's very, very strange store, but I think that's something that's unique to Thompson. Definitely, and the Book Nook too. How even most of these small cities, they don't really have a designated kind of like a hobby or comic book store. But thankfully we do, and it's been run by Tony for 27 years now, or 28. So I think that's pretty recognizable, and glad that we have that in town. Mufaro, anything?
From my perspective, I've been living in Thompson for about 5 years now. I think the most iconic places we've got, to be honest, a Walmart maybe. We've got
Walmart. The one you mean?
Local
You mean the most
Thompson Walmart.
the most popular grocery store in the world?
yes.
Is Thompson's a recognizable
No,
place? Damn.
no, the Thompson Walmart. It's pretty iconic. We've got
Why?
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 It's
What makes store 3102 different?
it makes it different in many ways. It's the hub of the north, as we call it here. We've also got the wolves around Thompson. I think those are quite iconic as well. What else do we have? And not much really.
Specific to our Walmart, actually, we are I think when the executives came up to our Walmart, they said something along the lines of, we are the only Walmart left in North America that still has the old Walmart design and is still like functioning out of the old, I forget what it was, Walter building or something like that. Like it wasn't Walmart before. Every other Walmart's either got their new building, which was recently built, or has been renovated and upgraded since, ours I doubt has been upgraded since 1970. Like, so.
Same till system.
Yeah, same till system from 1970.
But, at least
same electronics.
We got new printers, and customer service has the updated system. But
oh, just lovely.
Well,
great customer service, Thompson Walmart.
When you go to electronics, you get the 1978. It looks like it could be run on an IBM computer keyboard with the good old vector graphics display, and some of them are broken too. That's what adds to the charm, I believe. Also, if you guys didn't notice, because I was working, I believe it was yesterday, the guy, I don't know if he was dead, but he just kind of passed out on the floor by customer service. And the paramedics...
An employee?
No, it was a customer, not an employee.
Oh, well, okay, well, that happens a lot at Thompson Walmart, so...
I never see, I didn't see him with the initial thud, but I'm assuming it'd be a pretty loud noise, because this guy was pretty fucking big. And then when they took him out on the stretcher, again, he had his gut hanging out. And I'm assuming, and he was completely, he could not move. He was out of it. He's had his jaw gaping open. Very mind-opening experience of what crack can do to somebody.
Crack, or did he get into some of the chemicals from the chemical aisle? What are you thinking?
No, I cannot confirm that he was huffing Lysol or drinking the hairspray.
Oh, yes. Okay.
But,
all right.
But
one can assume.
But I will not say that, because he was at customer service, so he probably was going to be buying something fair and square. So
all right. Yeah, true enough.
Can't assume, But I can say that Thompson Walmart does have some very interesting employees, both good and bad. And if you actually look at the reviews for the Walmart, which I did a couple months ago, apparently the employees were not very helpful. But still maybe
let me actually bring that up real quick here. Let me just let's see here, Thompson Walmart. Let's see.
This is what from I can remember a couple years ago, or the reviews were posted a couple years ago. It's a couple months ago.
All right, so I'm actually on the Walmart website. Okay. Oh, what the heck? So apparently, our store's regular hours are Monday 9 to 6, Tuesday 9 to 6, Wednesday 9 to 9, Thursday 9 to 9, Friday 9 to 9, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 12 to 6. And you know what? I feel like those are the pharmacy hours. But this is what it's saying our Walmart's hours are. Oh no, something's gone totally wrong. And then you know what? This just shows the quality of just Thompson as a whole. Nothing's right. Everything's wrong. Something has to be wrong. Even the simplest thing, something has to be wrong.
Well, you used to work there, so you would know that.
Yeah, I mean, well, you guys still work there, but I mean, employees as a whole, very friendly. I don't think I'd ever work at another Walmart where it would be the same thing as that Walmart. Our Walmart is very special. I don't want to say that no one really cares what you do because obviously there's an expectation for what you're doing, but they care less than if you were somewhere else because, just the general public of Thompson, again, our Walmart is like 1970s esque. So no one's really got high expectations walking in there. Thompson citizens just don't really care about it anymore. It's Walmart. It's not a surprise. You walk in there and a price says it's been rolled back and it's actually $50 more than what it says it was. Like, it's not a roll back, it's a roll up. But that's what we like to do at our local Thompson Walmart.
How about for activities? Like what things can people do here in Thompson if they visit?
I mean, you're the activity lord in Thompson, Mufaro.
Yes, you performed
No.
in many of them. So
Nah. I was Thompson curler for a while. Soccer as well.
So when it comes to curling, I think everyone here is curled at one point or another. I fucking hate it. I think curling is one of the worst sports ever. Like, it is awful.
No. If you look at curling as a whole, it's a really demanding sport, Like
demanding.
Yeah, you have to have lots of precision when it comes to.
Do you want to know who plays curling? Like seriously plays curling? People who are 50 years of age and older. It's a retiree sport.
All right, but who watches curling?
People who are 80 and older.
An older demographic. Then you don't go to the Olympics and you don't see these fit 20-year-olds with they got the good bodies, obviously very well maintained, and you don't see them sliding that rock on a sheet of ice to a circle.
It takes precision, guys. It takes precision.
You push a rock on ice to a circle.
I'm not going to say it's easy.
It's not easy.
I did curl. I did curl. I was on the provincial team for a little bit, and I was on the school team. And, it's something, I wouldn't say it's super hard. Once you get it, you get it. There's very little room for improvement. You're either good at it or you aren't good at it. And I've seen that in many examples of kids who were also in curling with me who started absolutely trash and, it ended pretty much exactly the same. And there's people who went in there like superstars, threw their first rock, almost got it right on the button, which is the center of a curling ring, and just felt like a superstar. And at the end of the year, they were hitting every shot that their skip asked them to make. And that's pretty much how curling is. Anyway, moving on with the activities in Thompson. We do have skiing. We have a pretty big ski club. Wouldn't say our mountain is much of a mountain. It's a hill, but it's called Mystery Mountain. And, it's a mystery why it's called a mountain. So, makes sense. We are in the Mystery Lake Division, which is where the mountain got its name.
Oh, that is true. I fucking hate that place. Matter of fact, I fucking hate skiing. I probably hate skiing more than I hate curling.
Do you have any reason for that? Any maybe memories from potential trips to Mystery Mountain?
Oh yes, in school we used to go on those trips. I did not like it. I hated it, man. It was awful. The most fun was the bus ride there.
I don't know. What about chilling in the chalet?
You can chill in the chalet all you want, and you can, go on your phone or play Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on your DS. But you can only do it for so long before fat fucking Miss.
The real deal.
Well, I like to see her fucking put on a fucking pair of skis. But obviously that did not happen, as she had a double cheeseburger with her the whole time.
It's a little harsh, but I'm not gonna deny that there could be potential truth in that.
There's potential truth. There's definite truth there. Yeah, I hated it. You had to put on the skis and you had to like fucking like there's like that super short dinky hill. Just like okay, everyone walk with
The
you.
bunny hill?
Yeah, no, I don't know if it was the bunny hill. No, it was like a really small one.
Oh no, the one that's in the fenced-in
Yeah.
area, the practice hill before the bunny
I
hill.
had to call it the death hill. Because you knew, at least in every group, one person fell over and got stuck.
Right in the bank by the
Yep.
trees.
In
Yep.
the bank.
Happened to me when I was trying to learn how to snowboard.
Happened to me once. And,
Pretty much quit.
And I'll tell you, I never went skiing again. Oh, the only time or I think I actually did on my last trip. I think I actually like participated was at the bunny hill at the very end when no one else was really on it. Because at the beginning, it's fucking hell because it's so many people.
I mean, who wants to embarrass themselves?
That's true.
Trying to, you don't go down the bunny hill and absolutely eat shit and then recover from that. Your whole day is ruined. You're not skiing anymore. You go down there again. I mean, sure, you're a hero because, I mean, you're coming back from such an upset, but everyone's not looking at you like you're a hero. They're looking at you, are you serious? This guy's going again. He's going to kill himself. Like, you can't make it down the bunny hill. Stop skiing.
Because, yeah, and then you couldn't even go on any other hill unless you maneuvered around some cones.
Yeah. Most of the students weren't maneuvering around the cones. They were bombing the hill, which you were told not to do right at the beginning, almost railing into the side of the chalet because they're just absolutely.
I did hit the chalet once. I know I did. For sure.
I mean, you reach Mach speed going down that bunny hill.
It's like, yeah, they teach you how to walk and they barely teach you how to fucking turn. And slowing down. When you're actually going down a mountain, it's like, okay, just turn your skis to the side or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't work. It's either you fucking flip and eat shit, or you're fucking getting face first into the wooden shack.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. Mufaro, do you remember going on?
I have never skied before.
You have never
That's why.
Oh,
That's why I didn't talk.
Oh yes, because you were very.
Yeah.
Because you haven't even adapted to the cold yet.
Somewhat.
2018, new year, new me. New year, new Mufaro. Get out there and ski, buddy.
No, I'll ski. I was planning to go skating one of these days for the first time. See how it goes. Kalirinka.
The classic Canadian things you have to try at least once are hockey, and either you fail miserably or you continue it as a passion.
I will not.
And it could, whether it's floor hockey or whatever. I mean, I know lots of people don't go out on the skates, but I guess my next point: skating, curling, skiing.
Nope.
That's like, those are like Canada.
Yeah, I think I joined the clean team, so I think I'm a true now, I guess.
All right, Mufaro. I have no clue what you said. I'm not sure how your internet is.
Is it bad?
No, I think that's just the beats.
I'm not.
Beats microphone. That one, guys.
Mufaro, no, like whatever you said was actually inaudible. Like it was not.
I think we're gonna need to get some subtitles going here, and maybe you could send me a transcript of what you're actually saying, and we'll toss her up.
Yeah, then maybe I'll put it in a Microsoft Word document, just put it on screen, and then I'll use my mouse.
Smack it right down.
Then I'll use my mouse to follow along with the words you're saying.
All right, I will get a better mic.
Alrighty.
Alright, so it looks like this is the Ryan and Nathan podcast.
Oh my gosh.
For the time being, at least. But what else? Okay, but you guys are forgetting. When you guys are talking about Thompson, you're talking about only the winter aspect of Thompson. But what about the other aspects of activities?
Okay.
And I want to see if Nathan can guess what I'm thinking of. He might.
What you're thinking of?
Yeah,
well,
what do you think
nickel days. Thompson, Manitoba. You know, it started off strong when we were younger. As we grew older, especially last year and the 2 years before that, absolutely disgusting. Super garbage. Was in a small parking lot, had about 5 decent rides. The rest were little mini games that you pay $5 and you win. If you win a 20-cent toy, and it's like, no, well, that's not really worth it to go anymore. Crowded to all hell. Absolutely disgusting. And you know what? Some of the people there are just very questionable. Like you got people who are showing up there in like super ripped, sketchy clothing. Like you see them eating candy until their teeth fall out, and you're like, holy cow.
Well,
Do I really want to be here?
Well, the people with no teeth already attend. So.
Yeah, well, exactly.
But I would say
they're
I would say the main problem is just the the 12 to 14-year-old demographic, really. It's always those ones. They travel in a group of 8. Like you wish they had parental supervision, but no, and they just terrorize the whole town basically. And
you know what? And we were there once too.
We were there, but I can tell you what I did not do. I did not spit on the ground. And and I was not a thug.
A thug.
I was not a thug. I'm assuming all of them are thugs, and I would happily say that give or take 20% of Thompson, Manitoba's 12 to 25% are thugs, or just losers, flat out.
Air quotes around that
Air
one.
Quotes.
Thugs.
Thugs. No. I think thug is more of like an Americanized kind of.
So pretty much the Chicago Bulls reverse snapback with the pants down on their knees, saying they're in various gangs that don't actually exist, and
you and your 4 cousins do not make a gang, aka the Juvie 3. I do not believe the Juvie 3 exists. I've heard about that one. It's been 6 years, I think, since I've heard about the Juvie 3. I don't even know. It wasn't even the guy who said he was in it who told me about it. It was someone else. Honestly, I might have made that up. I don't even know. I don't even know where that came from.
It's hard to remember sometimes. You know, elementary school is pretty skewed.
I might have made that up. No, there's no way I did. I heard someone told me about the Juvie 3. I don't know if it was Split or Cross. Like one of those. Maybe, it could have been somewhere else. I don't even know. But
anyway, back to the activities before it gets to you there, Mafaro. Thompson, its charm wears out, and you could go to Thompson. You can make it fun for about a month, going to various places. If you can swim, awesome. You can drive an hour and a half, waste your gas, or like an hour, I guess, out to the quarry, or an hour and a half to the better quarry and go for a swim.
Nope.
Pichu Falls got a lot of sightseeing places, and after that, inside town, you could walk around town all you want. You could go driving all you want. That's all any of us ever do when we're there now. Work, and that's it.
Too many bugs.
Drink.
Too many bugs at Pichu Falls. Don't recommend.
Go to little dirty house parties, just that local town, small town charm, and that's it. And it wears itself out very fast. So anyone who would
if you don't grow up in it, yes, you can't really do anything. Like you have to have like an established base, like from a young age, build up whatever you have, and then you can live here. But like you can't try to transition into it. No. Like no.
It's so bad.
It is very.
Faro, seeing as you've been here, the shortest amount of time.
Well, Mufaro did say he has 5 things in his room. It's a bed, a dresser. All of his walls are white. He probably has just a laptop, no desk. It's probably something out of the Matrix, honestly.
Oh no,
Don't forget about those beats.
Oh, I do have it. A desk, a laptop, and a chair. Yes.
A chair. The chair is the 5th item in his room. Honestly, it's probably one of those fucking lawn chairs. You know those like white plastic ones?
No,
Rufaro, what kind of chair do you have?
it's a brown chair.
Can you lean back in that chair?
No, you cannot.
Okay, so it's kind of like
it's a kitchen chair.
oh, it's a wooden chair.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's wood.
Rufaro.
Yeah.
You don't even have
Okay.
a computer chair. You have a kitchen
Nah.
chair that's fucking rock hard.
Well, I mean, I'm living in a dorm. I don't actually have a computer chair either. It is literally one of like the classroom chair that you see, the horrific
Oh,
chairs that you see in classrooms. You walk in and you're like, okay, well, my day's ruined because I got to sit on that for 5 hours. And I do most of my my activities in this chair, in this room. You know, playing games, doing homework. And I have to say, you know, you go through all your classes and lectures all day sitting in horribly just garbage, uncomfortable chairs, and you come home expecting, you know, to find some comfort, and nope, you're still in a shitty university, and you're boom right in that crappy chair.
my university, I believe the chairs, they're actually not bad. Like in a lecture hall, the chairs are actually pretty damn good. I'm not sure about your lecture hall, Nathan.
My lecture halls are from the fucking 50s, so.
Oh, they haven't updated them?
Some of the buildings they have. Arms, oh my god, they're wooden benches, and it has a 90-degree angle with your back. It is the worst.
Okay, because with the lecture hall, like for biology or something, it's like just like a bunch of just desks, like plastic desks with like microphones built into the desks. Then they have like the chairs, which are like kind of sectioned in two, and they're actually quite, they're actually quite comfortable.
And they like swivel out.
Yeah, they swivel out.
Okay.
And then for whatever, on screen right now, I'm showing what kind of chair I'm sitting on right now. It's not exactly a DX Racer chair, but it's insanely similar to it. Basically, that's the kind of chair I'm using. Obviously, they know what the chair makes the man, is what I've been saying for about 10 minutes.
Oh, yes.
That's very true.
I'm a very shitty man with this
Alright, Nathan.
disgusting chair.
But what I was going to say that you did not guess was that if you do not like these physical activities, there's always the world of esports. And what else is better than the Northern Smash Bros?
Yep.
I am a proud member myself. Obviously. So let's just check out the Facebook page. I'm sorry, I missed my boy Daryl. Yes, this is what Northern Smash Bros. Really is all about. It's, you know, I'm not going to scroll down because the next post would get someone in jail. I will not do it. I will not do it to my boy because there's like 3 guys I even like in that whole group, which would be Daryl, Roderick, and Dean. And the post, I'll say this: the post involved alcohol and drugs, and who had them. So that's interesting. But yeah, you know, honestly, okay. They're actually nice guys. They're nice guys. So if you're looking to play some Smash Bros, there's your thing. No really other community besides that. But you know, honestly, it's pretty inviting. Thompson is actually it's a decently friendly city, I would say.
With the second highest crime rates in all of North America.
Good thing you said that because I am
Per
on the
capita.
McLean's website right now. Thompson, Manitoba is ranked 2, and I don't agree with that because I never see it. I don't really see this crime. But how about this? If we take the Wapanuk area and then probably Juniper and Burntwood, then maybe, because I don't see it. Like Riverside, Deerwood, and Westwood, those are pretty damn good areas, I would say. Can we agree on that?
I mean, what was the worst thing that happened to us in the Deerwood area? That guy who said he was going to skin my dog.
A guy I told you,
and he was drunk.
He was a dirty fucking drunk. Damn.
Yeah. And
what did you homeless people?
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, they don't often roam into Deerwood, but
and they do not tell you they're gonna skin your dog. Only sometimes they'll skin your dog. Only
yeah.
Occasionally.
I mean, lots of Sometimes, the homeless people here take paint thinner and various other cheap liquors and cheap chemical products into the woods. Police can't see them out there. And, of course, they make the mistake of walking through parks and playgrounds where worried parents aren't going to allow a group of 8 to 10 bums huffing paint thinner to be around their children. And they instantly call the cops. The cops rush into the woods, go get them. They'll go to jail for 5 minutes and then, released right back out onto the streets, because that's Thompson for you.
Well, speaking of walking through parks, I forget. I think it was Rotary Park. There were two bums having sex on beside the park. I could not imagine what the kids thought of that. But obviously, to shut those guys down. But honestly, some of the drunks are actually quite friendly. Some of them are. Some of them are also nice people.
I believe also I was actually in my backyard at the time. I didn't witness it, but I do believe I heard that it took 15 minutes for the police to arrive on scene. And by the time they arrived, the activities were done. They were well over with at that point.
What were the activities?
Just, a little bum on bum action. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, well, if there's some bum fights, man, I would definitely like to see some bum fights. Who doesn't love a good bum fight, right? It's true. It is true. But yeah, so homeless population's quite a big problem. So on the McLean's website, it's actually very interesting because they have the ranked cities by type of crime, and Thompson is ranked second, only to North Battleford, Saskatchewan, which is 353. I do not know what CSI means. Do you guys know what CSI means?
No, it has to do with the amount of, I think it's crimes per the amount of people in your area. I'm not too sure. That's crimes per capita type deal. Yeah, well, I think is what.
Well,
it's
what it has to be, because obviously Winnipeg is more obviously more crime than Thompson. But Winnipeg is people say Winnipeg is super dangerous. It's actually it's ranked 40, and that's that's not bad comparing that. It's it's definitely below Vancouver and Edmonton.
And I mean the thing with Thompson is that we have a designated population. That's people actually living in the town. But what websites like that fail to recognize is that we also have all the surrounding communities and such, and that brings in a much higher population. So the numbers, if it counted for that, because I'm not saying lots of crime is coming from the outside, but everyone who's coming in and who spends a given amount of time in Thompson per week might as well be an effect in those numbers, because they're the ones who the crimes are usually acting towards, and it ends up being that we are actually not a very violent and dangerous city. Lots of the stuff happens outside of the city borders, but still falls in Thompson because it's our police department that has to deal with it.
Is that true? I didn't.
Yeah.
Damn, well, because I know this is not taking place reserves, obviously. But if that were true, damn, I can't remember which one it was. There's one. Okay, there's one that was insane. If we took out all the reserves, Thompson would definitely be a lot lower. But the Wampanoag,
it'd be small.
Yes, the Wampanoag area would be definitely still quite bad area. But it's not if you live there, you're gonna get robbed or die. I've never encountered that. Obviously, we've been walking around 1, 2 in the morning. I've walked all the way from City Hall to my house at 3:30 in the morning before summertime. Nothing, ran into absolutely nobody.
Yeah, honestly, if you're in the main parts of town, it's when you get to the school areas late at night where potential hazards.
Well, who could forget when we saw the cops running with assault rifles?
Oh yeah, yeah. After somebody. Did you see someone? No. Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, then we were walking through. We heard whistling and just gaggles of fucking goons or whatever over there, and that was actually quite fun. But on the McLean's website, it does say we have different types, violent crime, homicide, sexual assault, right? So
it's violent crime. We're second, right?
No, we're first for violent crime.
Oh God.
We're also first for homicide. But then you'd say sexual assault. Apparently, Yorkton just skyrockets 13 spots up I don't know what's happening in Yorkton, but yeah, Yorkton. But Thompson's second. Like where are we getting like I don't hear about this. Like where, like it must be the surrounding communities, I guess. Like
Again, it's a lot to do with like again the homeless population and such, because without their connection to like families and such, you never hear about the stuff that's happening to them because they don't have many people to tell, and therefore the story doesn't get spread around. No one's like super concerned for their safety and well-being, unfortunately.
Mufaro, do you have anything to chime in? You haven't spoken in a while. If we can even understand you with your mic.
Oh my like, yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Barely.
This weekend.
All right, like in terms of crime in Thompson, I'll have to say, like as Ryan says, you don't see it, right? But it's there, lurking in the shadows, I guess.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's lurking in the shadows. All right. That makes.
Right.
Okay, but don't worry.
Can we get a quote of that up on the screen right now? Actually, Thompson, Manitoba, where crime lurks in the shadows.
That honestly, that'd make a great Facebook page. But when it comes to just normal assault, Thompson is up number 1 again. So out of the 4 things, Thompson's been number 1, and North Battleford hasn't been number 1 yet. It's kind of strange. I don't know what happens in fucking North Battleford, let alone what the fuck a North Battleford is. But when it comes to like assault, like maybe a verbal assault in the Walmart back room, but that's a. But then like just randomly for assault, for the CSI of 57, which is like by far the smallest, Prince Rupert in BC. I don't know what's going on. It's Southern Georgian Bay in Ontario. Like that's not even a real place, but I don't know what's happening. Assault over there. When it comes to firearm offenses, yeah, Thompson goes way down to not even top 50.
That makes sense.
Like I can keep going down, but I don't know where the fuck I'm gonna find it. Like no, I can't even.
I mean, what qualifies as a firearm? I'm unaware. Like, would that recent pellet gun incident that shall not be spoken of course. Does that constitute as a firearm?
Yeah. If I don't know, what's the definition of a firearm?
Search it up.
That's what I'm doing right now. Definition of it: a rifle, pistol, or any other portable gun. Pellet gun. It's a portable gun.
It is a portable gun, yeah. I thought it might have to do with like the type of more so than what the actual weaponry was, because a pellet gun's not using anything insane to fire its little pellets. It's not using gunpowder and compression and such to fire it.
Yeah, but Thompson just in general has like very low firearm activity anyways. Like you never see people like be firing guns really anywhere. Like a shooting.
I mean, you can't get like any real guns that would constitute to such an activity. Does anyone in town even sell like hunting guns anymore? Does Canadian Tire still do it?
Yeah, they still sell them.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is where North Battleford is like definitely number 1. So maybe this is where like I don't know how many guns, but apparently in Portage La Prairie is actually number 30, which is like I don't know how many guns are over there. Where they're getting all these guns from?
Which again, actually, let me check something out because North Battleford. Maybe it's like kind of like us in the sense that there's outlying communities that change the actual amount of people that are technically living there.
Okay, so as you look for that, let's go to robbery. And yeah, Thompson. Actually,
Thompson number 1.
Nope, number 14. not very high up. Winnipeg is actually number 1. North Battleford is 4. That's pretty surprising. Then Portage la Prairie actually beats out Thompson again. So with the robbery, yeah, Thompson, no, you don't see much robbery. No one actually really ever gets robbed very often. How you found it?
Yes, there is quite a few outlying communities around that area, and really, like, you think at this point they'd take that into account, because I know they're not doing specific things for those communities because it's a list of cities, but the fact of the matter is that our city is greatly affected by the communities that surround it. So it should include that data, and maybe then we won't be number 1, because you definitely don't see it as if it's number 1. It doesn't happen every day. I'm sure a tourist is never going to go to Thompson. They're going to look up the name and they're going to be like, oh, wow, number 1 in this murder, this, that. Oh, yeah, I'm not going there. I'm not going to go see the wolf capital of North America. Wow. Oh, my, Thompson. Woohoo.
Yeah, I don't think no one like that. That was so stupid. I think that was.
And I mean, why are they just picking up on this
I think that was
idea now?
2 years ago when there were surveys in the high school. I was there.
Oh, yes. Would you like to see the city of Thompson put more money into becoming the wolf capital of North America?
I made my
No.
own, I made my own box and put fuck no, actually. That's how much I didn't want it. Like,
It's not what Thompson needs, really.
No,
it isn't.
It's just stupid.
It's not going to bring in the amount of tourists that they think it is, and it's not going to change the amount of money coming into Thompson.
We're probably just gonna lose more money.
Yes, Thompson's going to die.
Yes.
It's a candle, and the wick is almost gone. We're going to need some fuel. We're going to need to freaking toss that candle into a good old fire, get her going, get her burning again, but nothing is doing that right now.
Alright, so if we can continue with these crime rankings. Breaking and entering? Yep, North Battleford, really. Then for Manitoba, it's Portage la Prairie again. So, yeah, breaking and entering is nothing really. Then obviously, fraud, like, that's very kind of vague subject. Like, and all these other cities are just the random ones, like Port Hope, Red Deer, Owens Sound, Estevan, White Rock, Weyburn. Like, I'm not sure if Thompson's gonna appear on anything. Like impaired driving, no. This is a good one. Thompson's actually rank 1 for cannabis trafficking, which makes sense because of the surrounding communities. But North Battleford is actually at 11. It's kind of weird. And Montreal is surprisingly just at 6.
I also feel like the drug trafficking has to, again, do with the fact that what can you do here? People just want to have a good time. Lots of people use that as their way to have a good time. It's not a great way to have a good time, but it's what people turn to, and that's because Thompson sucks, and again, there's nothing going on there. If you were to move to Thompson now, you are absolutely stupid. The city is dying. Do not.
No, you just gotta build up a collection of things, and just kind of play League of Legends in your room. That's kind. So have a good computer and some video games, and go and just get a nice TV and a good chair. You'll be fine.
And just pretend you're somewhere else.
Yeah, get an air conditioner for the fucking summertime. Honestly, you're good. Watch fucking MasterChef. Like, it's good. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Cocaine trafficking. Thompson's number 1. Like,
Yep.
Okay, I have only seen one person do cocaine.
It kind of skipped our generation. Definitely in the groups above us, and I've seen it a lot in like the age group 2 below us. So like the people who it's seniors in high school now, and the ones who've just gone off to university and just graduated, it skipped us. I don't see too many people using cocaine.
But no, like I said,
As far as Thompson goes, anyway, law obviously these numbers are very different for other communities, but
yeah, I'm not sure where else cocaine's going. Like I heard it was in the. Someone told me about the trapper's bathroom. That someone was offering cocaine and people were doing cocaine off like the TI or something like in the bathrooms like bars. So I guess that makes sense. Obviously, it's like a party drug.
just great.
If cocaine's a party drug, I'm not very well experienced, but I would assume it is.
Yeah.
Based off that. Other drug trafficking, there's other. And yeah, Thompson's not ranked 9. What other drugs? Like fucking
Shrooms,
fucking crack,
heroin.
crack. Like, no, but Yorkton and Selkirk is actually on here. I'm not sure what the fuck's going on in Selkirk, but definitely something else. Then,
There's actually more heroin in Thompson than you would ever even know.
I would
I actually recently found that out.
Heroin?
I was looking at police reports of Thompson.
Heroin? I've never seen anyone do heroin. I've seen people do shrooms. I've seen people drop acid, marijuana, and that's really it. Honestly.
The hallucinogens.
Oh yes.
Good times.
So when it comes to
Good times.
don't say that. So when it comes to youth crime, I'm gonna click it, and I really hope Thompson's number 1. Number 2, North Battleford. They must have more fucking bad kids than we do.
They must have more bike thieves than Thompson.
The amount of bike thieves in 2011 to 13, that was the height of, hey bud, can I steal your bike? People were asking to take your bike. That's how common it was. They would go up to your driveway and tell you they're gonna steal your bike.
And there was nothing you could do.
Well,
Your bike was gone.
It didn't matter if he said yes or no. Just take it.
All right. Okay, guys, come on. We've been giving Thompson a bad name. What has it been doing right? Huh? We're hosting Winterfest. What is it?
Yeah, that started today, didn't it?
Yeah.
We're hosting the Manitoba Games.
Yeah, man, we're doing things like that. What else are we doing? We've got.
I mean, I don't want to absolutely shit on that too, but where else? Like, I mean, it's obviously been in Winnipeg before. It's probably been in Brandon a bunch of times. Like, eventually, it was gonna have to come to Thompson. Like, I don't. Manitoba Games. If it was Canada Games, then awesome. If it's in Thompson, that'd be sick.
That'd be fucking awful.
Well, it would be awful for the people wanting to attend, yeah, but it'd be good for Thompson, maybe.
Well,
we'll have people from Germany coming to Thompson. You know, that'd be nice.
Why would that be? Okay, why? Why Germany in specific?
They'll get to see our diversity, I guess.
Oh, yeah, the diversity, yeah. Oh, yes.
Awesome diversity. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Thompson is actually very diverse. There's so many different cultures in Thompson, and it's amazing how, like, for instance, this is just an example. Somebody from like the Middle East just randomly picks Thompson to move to, of all places.
That's fair enough, because we have, like, what are 3 main populations? We have obviously Caucasian people, First Nations, and Indian people. So, then like I would love to see more Japanese and Chinese. But where are
they're there, right?
No, where are they?
There's lots of Asian people.
They are
in
there.
Thompson.
I don't see enough.
There are a lot.
I need more Asian people, dude.
Actually, I know more Korean people in Thompson
Oh, yeah,
than you anything else.
Yeah, and then, like, those are, like, you know, but honestly, like, where are the Swedish people?
No, but that's really just kind of Canada, because, you know, Canada is very diverse. It's like anywhere you go in Canada, it's gonna pretty much be like that.
Well, I guess Canada's kind of one of the drawing points to draw people in, is its diversity. When you go to America, you really get 3 types of people. You get the 50% of adults who can't read, because America is mostly illiterate. Yeah.
Is that a fact? Can I get some facts?
That's an assumption, man. Come on, Ryan.
I don't think it is an assumption, because I forget. Okay, I'll have to rewatch the Matthew Santoro video. I can't remember if he said in America or in a certain city, but I believe he said in America. It was.
I really hope
Okay,
That's
no,
not
okay,
true.
it wasn't okay because there was more to it. It was that 50% of it was 50. I believe it was either 46 or 50 because he said two different ones, but it was 50%. It's not that they can't read; it's that they can't read past an 8th grade level.
Okay.
That's what it was. Okay, so I corrected myself. It's not that they can't read in general.
So pretty much their vocabulary is very. They don't
It's not
recognize.
It's not defined now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I see.
Well, obviously, when you go to like many like cities like Chicago or anything like that, like, then you have like lots of adults who actually cannot read in general, or say Compton, for example, a place.
Ryan, I think your little the way you said city there. I think that's perfect. Shitty of Thompson. The shitty of Thompson.
Is that what they post on the episode when we go?
I mean, that's what. There we go. There we go. Right there. There goes the whole 20 minutes of thinking. Right there. Perfect. Beautiful.
All right. So, is anyone else? Because we're at borderline 50 minutes here. So does anyone else anything else say with Thompson? I already got I want to talk about the McLean's article about the crime. Anyone else have anything in particular?
No. Additionally, I think we're gonna set up a little page here, little Facebook page. Link below there. We'll get guys asking some questions, maybe for next episode. Maybe questions involving this one. Get them answered for you. Thompson is just an all around great place. Not really, but you got questions, I'll answer them.
I think it's all right. I don't think it's that bad. I don't believe the crime rate, but nothing. I can't stop the on my own.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I can just fucking bleep that out. Anyways, I'll just put some stupid noise over that, whatever. And like also when I said the teacher's name, I'll just block that out. Whatever. It's all good. Dude, I'll do it in post. Mufaro, anything else you need to say, Mufaro?
On Thompson, I think we've said a lot, man.
I mean, I don't want to scare people anymore. Thompson's a beautiful place.
We've got lots
I
of
love
lakes. Yeah.
All right, well, that was it for the first episode of the Real Deal podcast. Hopefully, next time we'll be discussing movies or possibly the Star Wars franchise. Either or.
We could tell people what episodes to watch for the next couple of weeks, I guess.
For the next couple of weeks, do you have them all written down?
I've got 5 ideas.
You look like you're fucking write on a piece of paper.
Yeah, I've been writing show notes the whole episode, like 3 pages so far.
What?
On show notes. On like things we've been saying so far, like building up on ideas and so forth.
You realize you're the only one who's gonna be able to see those notes.
I'll send them to you guys.
Are you sending me a JPEG?
We're
gonna get a PNG?
Fax them to me?
I'll just send them to you somehow.
Okay. So,
Facebook or something.
okay,
Make a PDF.
Okay, so continue, Mufaro, please, with what other ideas you had.
All right, so the upcoming episodes we might interview Justin Starzak, or we'll talk about
what?
Yeah, man.
Why?
I told you.
No, you.
I have similar questions.
We'll talk about trap music nowadays.
Trap music nowadays.
Mufaro.
Yeah.
Okay,
man.
so when
We get him on here.
When we interview somebody, it has to be someone of like. I want to get Rashab on here. That's what I want to get on here.
Who do you want to get on here?
I want Rashab.
Okay,
Rashab?
well, that makes sense.
That's someone.
All right, we'll get
someone,
Rashab.
That's like interviewing. Like what? Like Justin makes music, but he doesn't release it. So what could we interview him on?
He listens to just Lil Pump and like dirty artists like that, like super filthy artists, man.
So it's like
Gucci Gang.
It's like me asking to interview fucking the Pepsi vendor at Walmart. Why?
All right.
I don't know. He probably has some stories to tell.
Right. Okay. All right. Some other ideas on memes. We'll just talk about how ideas, I don't know, influence people and so forth. And we've got an idea on Bitcoin. We've got to have one.
I'm not talking. I'm not
I can,
talking about Bitcoin.
Oh
I can
my
talk for an hour,
god.
guys.
Okay,
I can
you
talk
know
The
for an
what?
hour.
legendary Mufaro
Okay,
pops up with the friggin' stock market and bitcoins and bullshit.
Come on,
Here we
guys.
go.
Come on. All right.
If you want to,
Hello, my name is Mufaro. I once invested in Litecoin,
I actually,
I'm your superior, pretty
but
much.
okay, but right. Don't you remember, like last summer, I was like, guys, I told you.
Mufaro, honestly, if you want to, that can be a solo Mufaro episode.
No, guys, you have to
Yeah,
join.
no. So what we can do is, me and Ryan will mute you. You can talk. We'll also talk.
And then we'll just see how it turns out. Okay, so continue.
We'll talk.
Okay, I gotta tell you that I am axing you can have a Bitcoin segment, but you cannot have a whole episode on that. So no.
I mean, we might as well
Not an
just make
episode.
an episode on something even more
On fucking
muddy water.
Oreo cakesters.
I mean, yeah. Where did they go?
Yeah, I'm looking for them. Okay, continue, Mufaro, please.
And then history on Oreos. That's a good episode right there. We'll talk about sweets and food. Like,
We'll talk
Oreo.
Okay, these aren't real things you have on your.
no, legit. I wrote them down.
Mufaro,
You didn't write that down.
did.
Mufaro,
The
why
history of
Okay,
Oreos.
why the fuck would you write down sweets? We're gonna talk about sweets.
No, Oreos in specific. Like the history behind it.
Okay, so basically what we're gonna do, or preferably what I'm gonna have to do, is to read upon the fucking history of Oreos and spit out a Wikipedia page back.
Not really. We'll make it interesting. Like cool facts.
Yeah,
What's
so I
happening?
can, I'll just make shit up then. No, I do not. But I fucking hope you guys know nothing about the history of Oreos.
I really
Alright.
don't.
No,
And I don't know why that's a thought going through his head.
I don't know, Mufaro.
The history of
Mufaro,
Oreos.
you're on fucking thin ice right now, so you better continue because you've had 3
Alright,
bad
alright,
ideas
alright.
in a row.
All right. And then we've got one on sports. Like Connor, I talked to Connor. I don't know if he'll agree.
Well, you want to get Connor on here?
Yeah, for sports, I guess.
That's okay. So just like in normal sport, I talk about esports. I think Nathan can talk about esports a little bit. Me and Nathan don't really know anything about normal sports. And I
I know a
even-
little bit about hockey.
And Mufaro,
and
I
stuff.
don't know how much you know about real main sports that isn't fucking soccer or football.
I watch a bit of basketball, so I
You
think
watch
that counts.
a bit of basketball.
I once played NBA, so
I once played NBA 2K11. Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
pretty much,
Damn.
I know all the players.
Damn,
Right.
Oh.
I think,
these are some good ideas, Mufaro.
and then esports, I think would be a good one as well. Talk about where it's going in the future.
Well,
The past.
I did a grade 12 English presentation on the esports, so I think that's good enough.
Ah.
I'll just post the
Good.
PowerPoint.
All right, we could talk about one of the world wars, preferably World War II. That would be cool.
My history professor Greg
The real deal.
God hasn't taught me about World War II yet, so I don't know.
All right.
We're still in World War One.
Ryan, tell me you're not recording this. Please.
I'll
Tell me.
I'll bleep it out.
You-
I'll bleep it out.
Can you cut, like, you just, every time Mufaro talks, can it just be like music instead, please?
Come on, guys.
Oh,
I've got a bad mic.
you're talking about-
Next episode,
you're
I'll be
talking
bad.
about Mufaro. I thought you were talking about me cutting everything I say out. Okay. All right. Well, Mufaro just has some awful ideas, but maybe he'll have a good one. Okay, Mufaro, go.
I mean, I'm not 100% against the World War thing. A history one would be totally okay with me.
I know history, but I do not want to talk about the fucking history of World War II.
Yeah, we'll talk about the cool things that happened, some technological advancements that we
The-
still benefit from.
Yeah, the cool things about World War II.
All right, so about the
Super cool.
Okay, Mufaro, how about after that? I talk about my favorite things of 9/11. and because you are on record saying the Holocaust wasn't a big deal, so you can explain that if you want to.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
All right, let's move on. Next idea. Oh yeah, 5 idea. Okay, what else do you guys have in mind?
Is your list done?
I'm about 5 or 6. That just 5 ideas. Then the other 5, like we'll just make do. See how it goes.
Okay, well I can tell you that our that 5 of those episodes will not be on those. Because those are awful for the most part. So yes. Okay, so why are we interviewing Justin Sturzik?
We'll talk about music nowadays and where it's heading. We could talk about last year's
when it comes
boom.
but when it comes to music, when it comes to modern music, before like why? I can sum it up in one sentence if you want, but like I don't think you know very much about modern day music.
Okay, modern day.
I certainly fucking don't. Nathan probably does.
I listen to a lot.
Okay, the modern day SoundCloud scene. We could talk about that.
Who the
The
fuck?
modern day SoundCloud
Okay,
scene.
first
Now
of all,
I am
yeah.
the lord of SoundCloud
So, yeah,
rappers.
yeah,
Actually,
Who the fuck,
We could talk
who
about
the
that.
fuck goes on SoundCloud every day and looks up the latest rappers and listens to them?
Yeah, most people do, man.
I do not think most people do.
All right, okay, 1 out of every eight guys, I guess.
Okay, so what's 1 out of every 8? That's 500 million people?
Yeah.
You're retarded.
No, okay, 1 in. Come on. Okay, 1 in 20.
No.
1 out of every
Mufaro,
8 people listens to Spotify rap or
Mufaro,
SoundCloud rap.
honestly, maybe 8 people in the world go on SoundCloud every day and fucking look and try to find new shit rappers.
No.
Who all sound
Okay, just
like
casually
fucking Migos on
listening
crack.
to it. No, just.
No, they don't like fucking
Just
Bargains
casually.
and Migos.
Oh my gosh.
They do. These fucking rappers suck Mufaro, and I don't like I don't know, like has there been any up and comers within the last year for 2017 up? Anyone?
No one in mind, really.
Ethan, do you know?
Didn't just Tekashi 6ix9ine just get really popular?
Who the fuck is that?
Tekashi.
He just goes by 6ix9ine, Ryan. It's the number 6 IX, the number 9 INE, and he's what people are calling Fruit Loops. You might have seen him on Twitter. His hairs are rainbow. His teeth are sharp like that.
Okay,
My main goal is to blow up
I thought that was Riff Raff.
That was Riff Raff, but he's
Okay.
6ix9ine is like modern day Riff Raff. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
wait,
Like,
you can't get better than Riff Raff. Okay, well I've never heard of this guy. No. Lil Pump.
just pull up an image. Just pull up an image.
So what's
Pretty much Riff Raff plus Lil
okay,
Pump.
well here I'm looking at it now. Okay. I've seen him. I do not.
Yeah.
I have not heard his music, and I honestly do not want to.
I think you want
He
to.
looks fucking disgusting. He looks like a lollipop threw up. So that's all right. That's great.
Yeah. Wait, and then like another episode I was thinking of right now, maybe one on Plato or Aristotle. I don't know.
I don't know if you said Plato.
Yeah, Plato or Aristotle.
Goodness.
You know,
Like the
it'll be-
philosophers.
Yeah.
Faro,
Or
I
Hegel.
just said Play-Doh, right?
No, Plato. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Plato and Play-Doh.
Yes. We'll talk.
No.
Both.
We'll talk about
At once.
the molding clay toy that smells really good.
No.
Play-Doh, yes.
I'm surprised that's not big, with everyone eating Tide Pods.
Well,
Bring back Play-Doh.
because people have all been eating Play-Doh for years.
Well, yeah, bring it back.
It's- no,
Bring
it's-
it back into the mainstream
Well,
news.
it's already
Alright.
mainstream. It's the norm. Like, who doesn't love eating Play-Doh?
As is non-toxic as well, so
Of course.
I mean, I wouldn't suggest eating Play-Doh or crayons, but you can.
So Lil Pump. Lil Pump's the one who's alive, right? Lil Peep's the one that's dead? Right? Am I right?
Yeah, Lil Pump is alive, yes,
Okay.
confirmed.
Okay, because I got them confused because their names are the exact same except a 2-letter difference of Pump having a UM instead of an EE. It's like
See, Lil Pump looks like he's like 28 years old. I think only 18.
okay.
I think that's a fact. I'll have to back check that one, but
Alright, well, you kind of cut out a little bit there.
okay, sorry. Anyway, I think Lil Pump is like maybe just turning 18 now. Like, I'm not even joking. Maybe 19. And he looks like he's 28. It is just,
He's 17.
Oh my goodness, 7. He's younger than us, and look at him.
He is actually younger than us. He's all younger than all of us.
Look at him.
He does not look as bad as 6'9".
I mean, no one really does, but
but he looks fucking stupid. He looks like a fucking moron.
well, I mean, his songs are pretty bad. Pretty
was
horrible.
he the guy who made Gucci Gang?
Yes, he was.
Ah, yes. All right, well, yeah, I think that's a good way to end up the first episode. So, Mufaro, tell them where you can find this podcast.
You can find this podcast on SoundCloud at The Real Podcast. We're making a Facebook page on Facebook.
Mufaro, can you please
Twitter.
speak up or put your mic closer? Because I don't know why, but it's super quiet. You need a real fucking microphone.
Mufaro left the room.
All right. Okay. Can you hear me now, guys?
Yes, we can.
All right. I will get a better mic. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud at The Real Deal Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, and what else? Ryan.
Wow.
And Ryan's YouTube channel.
And I'll post
Ryan's
it on
Review.
blog.
Yeah.
And you just got my name wrong, so that's pretty good.
What is it? Ryan's Reviews Retro?
There you go. All
right.
Well, Mufaro has a lot of accounts to make then, apparently, as I have never even been on Reddit. So I don't know. But yes, just look up The Real Deal Podcast and you should be able to find us. And these episodes should be out every week on Sunday, hopefully.
Sunday? Oh,
Well, they'll be released.
right.
They'll be released Sunday and or Monday. All right.
And
Right.
or Monday. Yeah, no specified dates. Sunday and or Monday.
It'll be one of the 2 days because I'll be the one who has to edit it, and I'm not doing it tonight. I'll probably do it tomorrow, and then I'll send it to Mufaro, and then it's either he'll upload them on Sunday, or he'll probably do them Monday. Honestly, probably Monday, because I'll be sending them to Mufaro probably like 9-10 o'clock in the evening. So probably Mondays.
Let's just say Mondays.
Sorry for the abrupt ending there, but thank you for listening. Please send us questions to our Facebook page at The Real Deal Podcast. You can also find us on SoundCloud as mentioned before. Sorry about my mic actually being very quiet compared to everyone else. That will definitely be fixed in episode 2. And if you would like to be a guest, please just message The Real Deal Podcast on Facebook and we can try to set something up. Thank you for watching and we will see you next time.